Well, we're turning our attention to the downstream sector now, still talking about the Nigerian gas industry. Of course, we've been talking oil and gas for most of the morning. Oil prices trending below $43 a barrel, causing more than a few palpitations in the global market and, of course, here in Nigeria. But we know that gas is another very important aspect of the oil and gas sector when we talk about generating power. Nigeria needs an investment of about $2.3 billion to meet its gas master plan target of about 2,300 kilometers of pipelines across the country to boost gas supply. That's the report we're getting from some analysts. Word on the street is that we need so much more than these numbers. Joining me to talk about this now is a member of the LPG group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Bambo Ademuli. Good morning to you and thank you for coming on the program.
Good morning. Thank you.
What is the state of Nigeria's downstream sector? Let's start from there, because we hear reports that it needs an investment of about $2.3 billion to have at least 2,300 kilometers of pipelines across the country. But some market analysts and word on the street says that's even not enough.
Yes, I would say it's certainly not enough, in the sense that it goes beyond pipelines alone. Pipelines will serve mainly CNG, compressed natural gas, which can be piped into homes, which can be used for captive power in various locations across the country, and can be used for several other things like add-on facilities in filling stations, in which case it can be used for cars, and so on and so forth. But apart from that, CNG is not the only gas that is used downstream. In actual fact, in Nigeria, the gas that is used most popularly downstream is LPG, which is our regular cooking gas, the cooking gas that everybody knows, which is the one that is put in cylinders and taken all over. So if you want to look at the infrastructure to make cooking gas available to Nigeria, to Nigerians, then you will be thinking a little more money than the figure you have quoted.
Okay, so now let's talk about the state of the downstream gas sector.
I can't say that we have one. I don't think we have one yet, because if you're talking about the pipelines, they are non-existent. There's very little pipelines. The only main one comes from Excavos to Egmi to Lagos, and then is crossing towards Wekoro. The cement factories are the ones using it. And around Lagos, yes, there's some pipeline that was done by GasLink, which is now Oando, and that is serving just a few people, mainly industries and one or two gas power generation units. So that is what is available. So, but compared to the state, to a situation where you could have that also replicated in Port Harcourt, in Calabar, in Warri, and then going up to the north, Abuja, Mina, Kaduna, Kano. There's absolutely no reason why gas cannot be piped, compressed natural gas cannot be piped to all those areas. So these are the problems that we have. We don't have enough pipeline. I don't even think we have started at all in terms of pipelines deployment for CNG use.
But then you remember that we have a National Gas Master Plan.
Yes.
And the Gas Master Plan is supposed to have taken care of some of those challenges that you mentioned. And it's been 7 years since that plan was unveiled. I
don't think anything has been done much. There's not much has been done along the lines of developing the master plan for gas. Certainly nothing was done for LPG. I can say that for free, because LPG has been where it was since 2007, that we in Nigerian LP Gas Association took it upon ourselves to develop the LPG sector. So LPG, what development has gone into LPG use has only been facilitated by the Nigerian LP Gas Association and her members. We have not had meaningful government intervention to expand the use of LPG in Nigeria, at least up to now. So in the master plan, LPG was not even taken care of. And that's why there's an initiative now by the National Planning Commission to have a plan, a master plan for LPG that will span about 5 years at the first instance, another 5 years.
So how much contribution now has the LCCI made, because you are a member of the LPG group?
The LPG group of the LCCI is very active in that. The Nigerian LP Gas Association actually is driving that with the National Planning Commission, with the Ministry of Planning. We are very, very active in that, and I believe that it has got up to a point now where it's just going to probably go to the highest authorities for review and approval. And when that is approved, that is when we can actually say we have a plan for LPG. For now, I don't see one. As a practitioner in the field, I don't see any plan for LPG growth in Nigeria.
Yeah, but in the last administration, I remember you were here on the show, and we talked about the Lagos State government, doing something with regards to domestic gas usage. How far has that gone?
The Lagos State government initiative actually took us quite far within the Lagos areas. You recall that Lagos State deployed over, I think, about 15,000 cylinders to homes in Lagos. And you see, deploying the 15,000 cylinders actually popularized the use of LPG. So those that did not even get out of the Lagos State supply of cylinders became aware. And we have seen an upsurge in the use of LPG in the last 1 year. In actual fact, the upsurge is about 40%, which is unprecedented. In the history of LPG use in Nigeria, there's been an upsurge in the use in Lagos areas. And Lagos accounting for about 60%, Lagos and its environs accounts for about 60% of LPG use in Nigeria. So that has helped the national consumption. So initiatives like the Lagos State one are the initiatives that governments across the whole country should initiate.
But how do you think governments across the country can replicate this?
Simple. All the studies we have done, at least I just finished one market survey of about 1,000 respondents, and we were asking what the difficulty on the use of LPG is. Again, it restated it: costs, the cost of entry. The next one, which is the next popular one, is safety. People have this perceived unsafe attitude towards LPG use. And then the third one is availability. The availability one, in fact, is a distant 7%. So it means that LPG is now available. People still have that perceived fear. But with more education, that will be overcome. But the one that we believe government should put a finger on and solve is the cost, like what Lagos State did. Gave it out free. But if you cannot give it out free, there are other initiatives by some other companies that are they're giving out cylinders in a microfinance scheme. You go and pay 3,000 naira, and they give you a 6 kilogram cylinder complete with a cooker, and then you pay the rest over some time. There are some others that some other companies are doing, where they go and meet the mama puts and provide them industrial cookers and cylinders, and then they pay, I think at the first instance, 5,000 naira, and thereafter over 6 months they pay the balance. So such initiatives need to be. There's no reason why the Ministry of Women Affairs, instead of sharing rice at Christmas, at Ileya, there's no reason why they should not give out 6 kg cylinders complete with cookers. After all, people are going to cook the rice and the meat. So if you give out the cylinders for the cooking utensils, share the money between the rice and ororo and cooking utensils using gas. The women have fallen in love with it. And there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that anybody that uses gas will not want to go back to use kerosene or wood or firewood. So these are the kind of initiatives we expect governments to take on. Ministries of Women Affairs, Ministries of Environment, Ministries of Energy in the various states, and indeed at the federal level. These are the things that we believe they should be doing.
Mr. Ademuli, thank you so much for coming on the program this morning and sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.